Great Wall of China, an iconic symbol of Chinese civilization, is not a single continuous structure built at one time, but rather a series of fortifications constructed over centuries by various dynasties. Its origins lie in the Warring States period, 475–221 BCE, a chaotic era marked by constant conflict between 7 independent states vying for dominance. These early walls were not intended as a unified defense against a single enemy, but as localized fortifications erected by individual states, Qin, Zhao, Wei, Yan, and others, to protect their territories from neighboring rivals and nomadic tribes. The states of Qin, Zhao, and Yan, located on the northern frontiers, faced the most pressing threat from nomadic groups like the Xiongnu, and thus initiated the earliest substantial wall-building programs. The Qin state, under the ambitious King Zheng, later Emperor Qin Shi Huang, emerged victorious from the Warring States period, uniting China under a centralized empire in 221 BCE. Emperor Qin Shi Huang, determined to consolidate his power and protect his newly unified empire from the Xiongnu, embarked on a massive project to connect and expand the existing northern walls. This is often considered the beginning of the Great Wall as we know it, although it was significantly different from the imposing stone and brick structure seen today. The Qin Great Wall was primarily built using rammed earth, stones, and wood, relying on readily available local materials and a vast workforce of conscripted laborers. The workforce consisted of soldiers, convicts, and common citizens, and conditions were notoriously harsh, with many dying from exhaustion, starvation, and disease. The project demanded immense logistical support, including the transportation of materials, provisions, and the coordination of hundreds of thousands of workers across vast distances. Historians estimate that hundreds of thousands, perhaps even millions, perished during the Qin dynasty construction, leading to the Great Wall's grim nickname as the longest cemetery. After the short-lived Qin dynasty collapsed in 206 BCE, the Han dynasty, 206 BCE, 220 CE, continued to maintain and extend sections of the Great Wall, primarily to defend against the Xiongnu. The Han dynasty focused on strengthening existing fortifications and extending the wall westward to secure trade routes along the Silk Road. Han dynasty construction techniques were similar to those of the Qin, utilizing rammed earth and local materials, though they did incorporate more sophisticated defensive structures like watchtowers and signal fire. After the fall of the Han dynasty, China entered a period of fragmentation, with various dynasties and kingdoms rising and falling, and the Great Wall fell into disrepair. The Northern Wei dynasty, 386–534 CE, and the Northern Qi dynasty, 550–577 CE, undertook some limited repairs and expansions, but these efforts were relatively small in scale. The Sui dynasty, 581–618 CE, briefly reunited China and initiated some construction projects, but their reign was short-lived and focused on other ambitious undertakings like the Grand Canal. The most significant phase of Great Wall construction occurred during the Ming Dynasty, 1368–1644 CE, following the expulsion of the Mongol-led Yuan dynasty. The Ming Dynasty faced a constant threat from Mongol tribes to the north, and prioritized strengthening the Great Wall as a primary defense against invasion. Unlike previous dynasties, the Ming Dynasty invested heavily in using stone and brick as primary building materials, resulting in the imposing structure we see today. Stone and brick offered greater durability and resistance to erosion and attack compared to the rammed earth construction of previous dynasties. The Ming Dynasty Great Wall was not a single continuous structure, but rather a complex system of walls, watchtowers, fortresses, and garrisons along the northern frontier. Watchtowers were strategically placed along the wall to provide early warning of approaching enemies and facilitate communication through signal fires and flags. Fortresses were larger, more fortified structures that served as military strongholds and supply depots, providing shelter and support for garrison troops. Garrisons were stationed along the wall to defend against attacks and maintain order, consisting of soldiers, archers, and cavalry. The construction of the Ming Dynasty Great Wall was a massive undertaking, requiring the mobilization of hundreds of thousands of laborers and immense logistical support. Laborers were recruited from various sources, including soldiers, convicts, and common citizens, and conditions remained harsh despite improvements in logistics. The Ming Dynasty also employed skilled artisans and engineers to design and build the fortifications, incorporating sophisticated defensive features and architectural techniques. The Great Wall served as a crucial defensive barrier for centuries, successfully repelling numerous Mongol attacks and safeguarding the Chinese Empire. However, the Great Wall was not impenetrable, and it was breached on several occasions, often due to internal weakness or betrayal. The Manchu-led Qing dynasty, 1644 to 1912 CE, eventually conquered China, rendering the Great Wall less strategically important. The Qing dynasty expanded their empire beyond the Great Wall, incorporating territories previously considered threats, and focused on consolidating their rule rather than defending against invasion. As a result, the Great Wall fell into disrepair during the Qing dynasty, with many sections crumbling and being left unattended. In the 20th century, the Great Wall underwent restoration efforts, becoming a symbol of Chinese national pride and a popular tourist destination. Today, the Great Wall stands as a testament to the ingenuity, perseverance, and sacrifice of countless laborers and soldiers who contributed to its construction over centuries. Its history is not one of a single, continuous project, but rather a series of evolving fortifications built and rebuilt by various dynasties in response to changing threats and geopolitical landscapes. The Great Wall remains a potent symbol of Chinese civilization, representing strength, resilience, and the enduring spirit of the Chinese people.